The influence of woke and DEI is nearly dead. So how do we put the final nail in the coffin? Joining us to discuss this and more is the president and co-founder of the American Conservative Values ETF, Tom Carter. Tom, welcome back.
Hi, thanks for having me, Amanda.
A lot has changed since the last time we spoke to you. Talk to us about the Texas Stock Exchange expanding access for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. The New York Stock Exchange has opened up a Texas stock exchange to give people in Texas the opportunity to trade there. So we are dual listed both on New York and Texas. And as you know, being a conservative fund ourselves, we love the people of Texas, and we think it's a really good opportunity for us to get the name out, have people in Texas understand what we're doing. And so that dual listing is very exciting for us. We came on to the Texas exchange about a week ago. And so, yeah, you can trade us either on Texas or New York now. And to remind everybody that ticker, it's ACVF.
Yeah, so important and so novel. I want to turn to the power of shareholder movements. The left did it for well over a decade. Then you came to bear, and we've had some victories with places like Disney and Target. What's the next phase for conservatives to make this a lasting tool in the toolbox to keeping corporate America focused on business and out of the game of politics?
Yeah, well, I think there's still a number of areas that we can work on, John. I mean, I think the debanking thing that the Trump family has brought ahead to is something that we need to continue to monitor. Christian organizations, Christian not-for-profits, conservative organizations not having the ability to have open bank accounts at certain institutions is an issue, and we, of course, have been on top of that all along. I think, like Amanda said in her intro, DEI and some of those things have fallen by the wayside, but we still need to keep diligent because we believe that they're just renaming it, and there's still a lot of that going on within the C-suites because these people, a lot of them are certainly progressive liberals, and they're going to want to continue with those initiatives, and we need to monitor that and make sure that the boardrooms and the C-suites are not doing DEI and things like that, or critical race theory in their trainings. And so, it's our job to monitor corporations and ensure that they're not hurting Republicans and they're not squelching Republican voices.
So Tom, I know you talk to a lot of heads of companies. For companies out there that are just basically rebranding wokeness and DEI, are they doing it because they believe in it? Are they doing it because they are placating woke board members? Why are they still doing it? Because it can be quite destructive to your bottom line.
Well, it's a great question, and I'm not sure we know the answer to it. I think of the tech companies, they try to placate a lot of times their workforce. A lot of these companies are on the left coast in California, Washington, Oregon, and I think their workforce is oftentimes progressive, and so they try to placate them. I think sometimes it is the board members as well, but we think that it's more because the left is so loud, and to John's point earlier, conservatives have been so quiet, and so we're trying to open up that dialogue for conservatives to be much louder about the fact that companies are doing this, and waking conservatives up to the fact that the companies they invest in may not be sharing their values, and we want to make that clear.
Now we got 30 seconds. Tell everybody where they can find out more.
You can find out more at investconservative.com. And again, the ticker symbol for the American Conservative Values Fund is ACVF. We're trying to track the S&P 500 performance as closely as we can while investing with your values. That's our goal. And we appreciate you guys having us on and letting us talk about the things that conservatives should be concerned about in the financial markets.
Absolutely. President and co-founder of the American Conservative Values ETF, Tom Carter, thanks so much for being with us tonight. And that's going to do it for us. We will be back here tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern. Have a good one.